Hello, friends. Welcome to the lecture on reactions of carbohydrates, part 3. So, here we'll be taking chain shortening and lengthening of carbohydrates or the aldoses. So, chain shortening means an aldose which we are taking is converted to a lower aldose, and lengthening means to a higher member. If we are taking an aldose with Cn number of carbon atoms, which on oxidation with bromine water or hypobromite, it forms Cn aldonic acid. Acid contains the same number of carbon atoms. And further, on reaction with hydrogen peroxide and iron, we see the aldose that is formed is containing Cn-1, means one carbon atom less than the original Cn aldose. And this reaction is known as rough degradation. Since one carbon is less than the original aldose, the lower member is formed. So this is chain shortening or rough degradation. The second reaction, we are taking Cn aldose. It is converted to aldonic acid on reaction with HCN in presence of acid. The first carbon atom CHO is converted to an carboxylic acid. Further, on reaction, lecturization, and second is reduction, we see two kinds of products are formed. So the first carbon is CHO, second is CHOH, third is again CHOH, fourth is CHOH and R, and the other isomer but differing in configuration at C2 is again containing the same number of carbon atoms. That is, it converts to a mixture of Cn plus 1, C2 epimers. Right? Means we have converted an aldose with Cn number of carbon atoms to Cn plus 1 aldose. So this is a mixture of epimers. What are epimers? We know epimers are the isomers which differ in configuration at C2. These two procedures permit an aldose of a given size to be related to homologous smaller and larger aldoses. The second reaction where we have increased or lengthened the aldose is known as Kiliani-Fischer synthesis. Thus, rough degradation of pentose arabinose gives the tetrose erythrose. So, in degradation, a pentose sugar arabinose was converted to tetrose, which is erythrose. Working in the opposite direction, a Kiliani-Fischer synthesis applied to arabinose gives a mixture of glucose and mannose. So C5 is converted to C6. C6 is mixture of glucose and mannose, they are epimers. An alternative chain shortening procedure known as Vogel's degradation is essentially the reverse of Kiliani-Fischer synthesis. So when we are lengthening the chain, this is Kiliani-Fischer synthesis, and when we are shortening the chain, it is a degradation process, and the process is rough degradation or Vogel's degradation. Using these reactions, we can now follow Fisher's train of logic in assigning the configuration of D-glucose. Number 1, ribose and arabinose. The two well-known pentoses both gave erythrose on rough degradation. As expected, Kiliani-Fisher synthesis applied to erythrose gave a mixture of ribose and arabinose. Oxidation of erythrose gave an achiral, that is optically inactive alderic acid. So this defines the configuration of erythrose. Erythrose is C4 sugar. Oxidation of ribose gave an achiral alderic acid. This defines the configuration of both ribose and arabinose, C5 sugars. Rough shortening of glucose gave arabinose, and Kiliani-Fisher synthesis applied to arabinose gave a mixture of glucose and mannose. Glucose and mannose are therefore epimers at C2, a fact confirmed by the common product from their Osa-zone reactions. A pair of structures for these epimers can be written, but which is glucose and which is mannose? In order to determine which of these epimers was glucose, Fisher made use of the inherent C2 symmetry in the 4-carbon dissymmetric core of one epimer B. This is shown in the following diagram by a red dot where the symmetry axis passes through the projection formula. Because of this symmetry, if the aldehyde and the primary alcohol functions at the ends of the chain are exchanged, epimer B would be unchanged, whereas A would be converted to a different compound. So we are reversing the functional groups at the ends. They are exchanged. So epimer B would be unchanged, whereas A would be converted to a different compound. So here we see A and B, the red dot C2. So a pair of C2 epimers, one is glucose, the other is mannose. We don't know which is glucose and which is mannose. So C2 symmetry, the dissymmetry formula, the 4-carbon dissymmetric core, and here we see when we have exchanged the terminals, we see that there's no symmetry, and we see a C2 symmetry in the second formula. So Fisher looked for and discovered a second aldohexose that represented the end group exchange of the epimer lacking the latent C2 symmetry, that is in compound A. And this compound was L plus gulose, and its exchange relationship to D plus glucose was demonstrated by oxidation to a common alderic acid product. So the remaining epimer is therefore mannose. So here by the 4-carbon dissymmetric core method, Fisher demonstrated that how can we identify the epimers glucose and mannose. Thank you.